going on, Jerome's? NFL free agency is right around the corner. Just combine. Yeah, there's no legal tampering going on there. But new league year starts on March 13th, and there's going to be some big-time names flowing around, even though the franchise tag is out there. And it's always fun. Like the rotisserie hot stove part of the NFL offseason is always great. Matt Bowen, who does fantastic work breaking down film, absolutely love him, even though he's a stupid, crooked Chicago Bear. He did up his 2024 NFL free agency best fits for top 50 free agents, and the Vikings have a couple players that aren't going to be back. So Kirk Cousins, hey, I was told that Kirk was ass. Thank you. And I was told that Kirk is too old and coming off a torn Achilles and isn't worth the money is kind of garbage. How is he the number 3 free agent on this list? It's weird, man. It's weird. But this is what Matt wrote. Best fit, Atlanta Falcons. The Vikings should be in the mix to re-sign Cousins, but I think he fits really well with Atlanta under new offensive coordinator Zach Robinson, who worked under Sean McVay in Los Angeles. Oh, it's weird because the Vikings have a head coach who worked under Sean McVay in Los Angeles. It works well for Cousins in both the play-action and drop-back passing game. It's weird because I thought that the Vikings have some good play-action and drop-back passing game. Right before tearing his Achilles in Week 8, Cousins was completing 69.5% of his throws. Nice. And 18 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions. Oh, it's weird. It's weird he did that in the Kevin O'Connell offense. He will be an upgrade under center for Atlanta offense as plenty of young offensive skill talent in Drake London. Oh, that's weird because the Vikings have Justin friggin' Jefferson, Kyle Pitts. Oh, that's weird because the Vikings have Hawkinson once he gets back from his knee injury, and Bijan Robinson. We got nothing. Nah, I'm just playing. But I feel like for all the reasons why people tried to make Cousins to the Falcons happen, I feel like all those reasons are applicable to the Vikings and even more so. Like, yes, the Falcons have a lot of great weapons. Yes, the Falcons' new OC, Zach Robinson, is a branch of the Sean McVay tree. Fully understand that. Fully get it. Yes, you're playing indoors. But, I mean, for the Vikings, you play indoors. You have Kevin O'Connell, where Kirk Cousins has had great success over the last 2 seasons. And you have the best wide receiver in the game. You have potentially the second best rookie wide receiver from last year. Respect to Puka. And also, when Hawkinson is healthy, he's a top 3 tight end. He's not 3. Plus, you have great bookend tackles. And plus, that Flores defense is going to get better and better and better. Again, for every reason why Kirk should go to the Falcons, there's another reason to stay here. Plus, I mean, the Falcons, I feel like their preference would be to trade for Justin Fields. I feel like sending their second rounder to Chicago for Fields does make sense. Where, well, did you know that Julie Cousins is from Georgia? Dude, Justin Fields is Georgia. He is Atlanta, man. So I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but if the Falcons do trade for Fields and say Russ is going to go to the Steelers, as has been scuttled about, I think Kirk may be playing musical chairs and there's only one chair left and losing potentially all of his leverage. With Danielle, a number 8 free agent on the board. Danielle Hunter, best fit, Los Angeles Rams. The Rams have money to spend in free agency, and filling the edge rushing need should be a priority. 116.5 sacks with the Vikings in 2023 were the 5th most in the league, and he also forced 4 fumbles. Adding Hunter would give the Rams a productive veteran force opposite Byron Young, who had 8 sacks as a rookie with Aaron Donald on the interior. That's how you upgrade a pass rush. Now, that would make the Rams very scary, where the Rams have had a really nice rejuvenation in their last draft. So adding Byron Young, adding Kobe Turner, of course Puka Nacua, and Stafford probably has a couple of very good years left in him. And I think that the dip with Cooper Kupp last year was certainly an anomaly, but I think the Rams would be really good. Aaron Donald probably has a couple of good years left too. So 99 being a problem, well, he'd have to change his number, but because Aaron Donald is 99. But Danielle, I mean, a lot of his off seasons, he spent some time in LA, so he loves it and knows the area. And I know that people point out, hey, free agency for California teams, especially Los Angeles County teams, like, hey, what about the taxes, all that stuff. But, I mean, Minnesota is a relatively high-taxed state as well, as I know, since I just did my taxes. But, yeah, the whole thing about Danielle, I don't fault him because I think that Danielle is going to take the highest bid. and it just sort of is what it is. I mean, his second deal that he signed here with the Vikings, the 5-year, $72 million one, it was below market to begin with, and you've seen issues with it over the last couple of years when they've had to revise that contract. So, I mean, hats off to Danielle. He had a career year in a contract year, so I mean, he's going to get his money. It's perfectly fine. But if Kirk leaves and Danielle leaves, even though the Vikings will have around $42 million in dead void year cap hits from both of them, that's already been factored into the salary cap. Plus, you don't have to pay them, so the Vikings would have some cash freed up to throw around. Shawn Bunting is listed as the best fit for the Vikings. The only of the top 50 free agents. Although I feel like Justin Madubuike, Christian Wilkins, Patrick Queen, I think all of them would fit in pretty nicely in purple. Not saying, I'm just saying. But Shawn Bunting, so he's a guy that we've talked about on the channel before. Wanted him as a free agent last offseason before he went from the Bucks to the Tennessee Titans, and it was just a disaster in Tennessee. Like, Tennessee was just not good last year. And also, back in the day, 2019 draft, absolutely loved him. That's back when he was Shawn Bunting, before he added the Murphy. Coming out of Central Michigan, he was an absolute stud, ended up being a second-round pick, so he's great. But this one, lost it. That's what Matt wrote. 38. 38 out of 50. Shawn Bunting. I originally had Bunting to Arizona here, but I believe the Vikings will be seeking some corners for Brian Flores' aggressive system, and he'd work well in Minnesota. With his long frame and fluid hips, a Bunting can challenge on the outside or match in blitz coverage. He has 8 interceptions and 22 pass breakups over 5 pro seasons, with 2 picks in 2023 in Tennessee. So, last year the Vikings picked up Byron Murphy II, and now this time picking up Shawn Bunting. If you're a Murph cornerback, you're in. You're in, man. And with Murphy and Bunting, as well as with Blackman, I feel like that's a really nice trio of corners. And then whatever you get out of Evans, whatever you get out of Booth the second, is just bonus there. But I think that Bunting would be a more economical choice than, say, Jalen Johnson or L'Jarius Sneed, but certainly would fill a need. And also, he still is in the thick THXCC of his prime, so I think that he could be a part of the secondary long term. So I think this would be a fantastic pickup for the Vikings, and especially if and when maybe the Vikings lose Danielle. Although, I feel like the Kirk Cousins options aren't going to be there. I mean, for all the reasons we've talked about, hey, it's tough to give Kirk at 36 coming off Achilles guaranteed money in 2025 or 2026. I just don't know. Like, all it takes is one yes, but I don't see a bidding war. I don't see the other teams having all that much leverage. I just don't see them really breaking the bank for Kirk. But again, I guess we will see what happens. But your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN's free agent best fits. The Vikings lose Kirk and Danielle, but pick up a cornerback. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts and their thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.